Good afternoon, everybody. Quick safe harbor to let you know that it's confidential and proprietary. Any future statements over here should not be considered for making purchase of the product. And I'm Pankaj Bhardwaj. I've met some of you. I head up global support at Automation Anywhere. Very happy to share our journey with Gen AI and Automation Anywhere. Also, let me have Assad introduce himself.
Mike, Assad Baho here. I run the premium support team for the Americas. I did meet a lot of you, so it's great to be here, and this is going to be a great session. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you, Assad. Quick, all the work we have done this year in terms of up-leveling our support, focus on support operations and customer experience in the last year, it's incredible. We've actually won 7 industry awards. And we've also been named to 2 finalist awards with TSIA that we will know later this month if we won the finalist award. But we are very excited the amount of work the team has done on it. And we're very proud of the innovation and customer focus. So today we are actually going to be sharing with you how we've actually leveraged next generation customer care using intelligent automation and generative AI as well. And I think we want to talk about in today's session why we need to have a new mindset and why transformation is important. We also want to look at the unified platform provided by Automation Anywhere to look at a new system of work. And then I'm going to be diving into the results, both from a metric standpoint and a financial standpoint as well, and a deep dive into how we did it and a roadmap for the future, and then happy to take any questions after that as well. So as you've seen in the keynote already from Mihir and others as well, there's a reduction of 3% decline in the world global population. And when you look at it, the labor population, there's a decline from 1998 onwards with United States alone. And all of that is actually leading to a productivity crisis. And that's why we have to look at new ways of being productive. How do we look at new methods as well? And the solution actually is looking at a new system of work. So when you look at just automation with RPA, et cetera, you get efficiency of 5 to 10%. But what if you're able to design new processes, but also create new ones, optimize workflows and come up with new workflows as well, and look at new ways of delivering customer service that are revolutionary? And the answer for that is intelligent automation powered by generative AI, right? That is the answer, and that is why we actually looked at how do we up-level our customer care and look at new ways of doing it. So when you look at generative AI, it can actually create new content, both in terms of textual, audio, visual, code as well. It also takes all the inputs and data, and it can create combinations and variants that have never been seen before as well, right? So not only are you going to be able to use the disruptive power of AI, which is 1000x compared to RPA, but it also creates incredible savings and efficiency when you look at it, right? So, and today we are actually going to talk about how we did it in customer care, and happy to share those results with you as well. So just like any other customer service center, we also have ways of looking at how do we skill our workforce, how do we come up with capacity, availability, and new ways of delivering service as well. And what we did has actually given us incredible amounts of results. And when we put this slide together with the vision, and I left it there purposely, we were looking at 20% reduction in resolution time. What we see today is greater than 50%. Even we are amazed at what generative AI coupled with intelligent automation is doing for us. And when you look at it, it's highly available, and we are getting a 6x ROI on every dollar that we have invested as well. It's just amazing the results that we are seeing right now. So when we actually reimagined the entire customer service workflow that we had, we looked at it in two ways. One is the front office and the back office, right? And the vision we had was, with front office, we wanted the bots to directly, the digital workers to directly interface with the customer and resolve the case. If there was any escalation that was needed, it would actually go to the back office, and involving a human, but assisted with the digital worker as well. So we can interface it with all the back office functions, and then they are able to vet the information before it goes to the customer. And by having the human in between, they are actually able to review all the information that comes from the back office, but also there are high-risk changes. There's a lot of proprietary information which you need to gently guide the customer as well, but also having a second pair of eyes. So that is the way we envision the workflow, and we'll go into the details as well. From a financial standpoint, what we have seen is 2.64 million cumulative benefits over 3 years, and with a 446,000 investment over 3 years. Actually, frankly, looking at what we see right now, it's going to be a lot more than that, right? Even with this, it's a 591% return, but we are actually going to see a lot more, and the goal here is to have 1/3 of digital workers to complement the team we have in place right now. Some of the benefits we see with this transformation is, even with our Orange support program, we have 24/7 coverage, because with digital workers, they're available at all times. Capacity is not a problem anymore. It's highly available, follow the sun approach, and then, like I talked about, we are using unattended bot automation for front office, and then for back office with the automation co-pilot, we actually use attended bot automation as well. So we have human in the loop, and we're able to vet all the information that goes back. So going to further details with front office, what we've actually done here is, if you look at the digital workers here, even with English, you have various nuances, right? If you look at UK English versus Southern English versus Indian English, etc., right? So what we are trying to do here is, apart from the various languages, we are trying to personalize the service, and we are also using the power of generative AI, also understand content, tone, how is the customer corresponding with us, and we are able to personalize the conversation with the customer as well. And if you go to the next screen, I can talk about the more details here as well. We have Automation Anywhere bots, what we call digital workers. They are actually scanning the unassigned queue, and they parse all the case information, and they send it over to the automated intelligence. You can use any system you want. And then that system sends a response back, because it's trained on knowledge base articles and public documentation, right? And then that information is then sent back to our bot that constructs the response in an email leveraging Salesforce. That's the CRM we use, APIs, and it keeps going back and forth in a conversation till either the issue is resolved or it needs to be escalated, right? This entire process is completely automated, and it's in production right now, yeah? And we are actually able to solve more than 30% of the cases using this system. Completely automated, and I'll share the results with you as well. Moving on to the chat automation as well, we automated chat as well, and more than 22% of our volume comes through chat, and we've linked that with generative AI solution, and the same thing, it's conversational. And I think some of you even asked me the question, hey, what about a chat bot? What a chat bot does is, it's a glorified search engine, right? Because you ask a question, it gives you a search. But with generative AI, it's able to ask more questions. It's very interactive. It's conversational, and it gives you the right answer, even on a chat screen. And all of that is automated as well right now. Unless the customer says, hey, I need further assistance, then we escalate it, and I'm going to talk about back office as well. So this one is highly available, and it's being offered in all the languages as well. Back office, so all of the cases with front office and chat that are not solved, what we then do is they get escalated. And one of the things I didn't mention is for both the front office and back office, the data repositories are separate. And what we've done is with front office, we are only using public documents and KB articles, but with the back office, we use our entire support case history. We link it to Jira, Confluence, and any other internal information as well. So the digital worker, the two different models that we have, it's still able to come back and give the information. And then a support engineer looks at it, and then they either send it back to the customer with the response, with the second pair of eyes, or they press a button and it automatically becomes a bug or an enhancement request with all the troubleshooting steps already there. So all of that is automated as well. So if you look at it, so so when you look at it, it's highly productive. All the steps are done round the clock, and the reason we have it there is a second pair of eyes. And also sometimes we might need to guide the customer with high-risk changes, right? So all of that is automated as well. So what we are doing here is, again, the reason we have every digital worker separate by zone and the region as well is we are looking at all the metrics similar to a human. And if we need to carry out improvements, we see the customer feedback and we're able to make improvements. And if you look at the results, they're outstanding. I mean, the customer satisfaction score is greater than even with humans. Availability is high, productivity gains. We are able to solve 88% of the cases in the first 24 hours because all the knowledge is there, and we've spent a lot of energy on the content. So some of the customer feedback, the amazing part is some of them, unless they look at the fine print, they don't even know they're working with a digital worker. So they're coming back and saying the name. And I forgot to mention, all the digital workers, we picked John Doe, John Smith, and names like that. And it's like, thank you, John. Great job. It's really great. So happy to take any questions right now. Asad will also join me. I'm happy to do the Q&A right now. Yeah, you can use Amazon, Azure, OpenAI directly, but we are actually using Odin. So, but we integrate with any of the AI engines right now. Any other questions? Yep. So the question is around security and what protocols we took when we looked at the solution. So when we first started out, we looked at various approaches, and I don't want to talk about those, but I think the reason we picked on the vendor we finally finalized on is they were managing the generative AI system, and we also have an IT team, we have security. We still ran the protocol, all the normal security protocols you run before the solution went live. But the big part was, which I mentioned, right? We have two separate models. The first with front office automation, it's completely automated, is only using our public documentation and public articles. So pretty much it's already there. People already use it. But the ones which have PII in them, internal confidential information like Jira, et cetera, Confluence, we built a separate model, and that's why we use Automation Copilot with human in the middle, so you can still look at it. And today, if you look at it, that's how support engineers work. and we are aiding them. It's almost like the co-pilot, right? Giving them the answers, they vet it, and then they decide the 3 courses we talked about. So from that security perspective, we are good. Yeah. On a what again? Telephone? Okay. Yeah. The question is, the front office, is it only web or can be deployed on a phone as well, right? Or any SMS channel. So today what we did is we have taken steps. We started with web, email, chat, like I mentioned. We're already exploring phone as well. And there's already lots of support with the phone system vendors or even with OpenAI as well. So that's the next thing we're going to be doing is phone. Traditionally, with automation anywhere, it's been very much electronic, and but we still want to look at phone. And once again, it's going to leverage the same content repositories right now. We're already looking at Whisper, all those solutions as well. Absolutely. Yeah. The question is around the rollout strategy. And so first, after we had the solution, we were testing it ourselves in a test system. And when we rolled out by customer segment. So what we did was, as you know, Asad can also talk about it, we have 3 different support programs, Orange, Silver, and Gold. But we also looked at it by ARR as well, right? Um, customers below 50K, greater than 100K, and so on and so forth. So we focused a lot more on our Orange support customers, which is a long tail of customers, and and we took baby steps along with a pool of customers, made sure that it was going fine with them, and then we added more segments to it. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the question is around, is it system agnostic? And the answer is yes. So today we are using a CRM with Salesforce, but it could be ServiceNow, it could be Remedy. And the same thing, even the back end, we have Jira, but it could be different system. Uh, Remedy also has a defect tracking system. And I think that is the beauty that you have with automation anywhere, right? Our bots that you write, the intelligent automation, it can work with any system. And the same thing on the Gen AI side as well, right? We integrate with any generative AI solution. So it doesn't matter which phone system, which chat solution you have. As long as it has APIs, that's what we leverage with all the systems. And we've written the code around it. Any other questions? Yeah.
How long does it take to train the AI to get the right responses?
Yeah. So it depends on the size of your content as well, right? It depends on that. Um, I think we have a model where we had to do some innovation there as well, because first we were actually with GPT 3.5, there's some limitations with that as well. We had to chunk the data, but with 4.0, it's a lot better. And it all depends on how much content you have. And content is really important as well, but and I would highly recommend you go down the GPT 4.0 route as well. The rollout, so here's the other beauty behind the power of a platform. All of this was done by the citizen developers in support. So it's not like we hired developers or some outside third party. So that tells you how simple it is, that not even the services team or IT team, but support citizen developers were able to do it. And when we did it this year, we've actually cut our costs by 30% as well, as our premium support programs are growing. And there's also the whole cost avoidance side of it as well, which you can add your numbers there as well. So it's really good. And from a rollout perspective, I touched on that question as well before. We took baby steps because, and right now we are amazed with the results that we see. Because I purposely left that slide with less than, even the goals we made, they seem tall, but the results we are seeing are much more higher than that. So we are very excited with it.
I'm not sure how many of you guys, if anyone's from the center part. I'm not sure if any one of you guys are from the center or the support center, but we've really, a lot of the challenge that organizations in the center, usually it's cost. As you know, the macroeconomics headwinds that we've been dealing with, the challenge constantly is how can we reduce the cost per ticket? How can we reduce that engagement? And I think this brought such a complementary approach to our team where we're definitely growing as customers grow, but we cannot, every customer or every 5 customers, you have to add a support person. We need to figure out a way where we are really looking at that, and I think the rollout is important to look at maybe if we have the different levels of support, how can we deal with that? But even if we go, you probably, a lot of you I met here, we talked about premium support, silver and gold that we have. Even the back office for gold really adds a lot of value, because at the end of the day, we're trying to make an impact and help customers with ART. ART is huge, average resolution time. We want to make sure tickets are closed as fast as possible. So yeah, we're customizing our approach when it comes to human interaction with the customer, if you're on premium support. But then that premium support person, he wants to get results as fast as possible. So we have the back office levers for them. They're able to do, whether it's attended or unattended, they're able to pull those in order to get results and answers for you as soon as possible. So it's been a great journey. I mean, it's a constant, in support, you're always trying to reduce the costs, but at the same time provide the best support possible for our customers. And this is really very telling. As Pankaj mentioned, 30%, not deflection, but really engagement of customers, where they're coming back and saying, hey, we love it, 100% CSAT. So it's a no-brainer as you work, a lot of you I know are part of the COA team, as you work with your counterparts or your support center leaders, they would love this, they would eat this up, and that's really exciting stuff. Just to see it happening. So over back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just along the lines of what you're just saying, we're looking to do the same thing on our internal customers, right? And so sometimes when some of our support is offshore, it may take the event KPI of our SLA of 10 to 15 days. You know, right? It's all a problem. They're meeting the metrics, but our stakeholders just are not necessarily happy because it's about that why does it stop? So thinking about some of this frontline, front office automation, if there was rules and we could put in place that it would stop automatically, asking questions or restarting, or because sometimes it's just a restart the box, but that's a lot of our concern, or a lot of our stakeholders' concerns is that it's not running. Why did it stop? I need to turn it out. And they have a workaround because we're taking the same steps that they do manually, just going to put them on, right? So there's always that workaround. And so to increase that relationship, with our stakeholders, we need something
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think a few things we do is the goal for support usually is how can we get the customer up and running as soon as possible, and really that's the first thing we do. A lot of times it's important to collect logs prior, so things where it could say, okay, before you restart, let's collect the logs, but this is what you need to do to get up and running, and then you could come back later and say, this is our analysis, obviously. Let's get them up and running as soon as possible, and those could be automated, obviously. Those things are, hey, if and then, if this comes in, then we're going to do that, and great idea for sure.
Yeah, and I think the best part is we are actually using our own products, and you brought up something around bots. So it's mission critical for us, right? If something goes down right now, these are highly available. Customers want it, and every new release we're going to be using this as well. And but the beauty is, it was very simple. We in support were able to do it, and we are live with it, and the results are incredible. And even on the, I was showing you the dollars there. Even on the language support, we spend millions of dollars with language support because they're all over the world. And now generative AI is going to be able to solve it for us. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.